Hi, welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today we're going to do page 12 of our 100-day challenge. And I've already got my little 12 here. And I'm going to just stick that out of the way. Remind me that it's on my mug. I want to start, I've got a page that I like pretty good. But I want to try something that I've watched Sean Pettit do. She is always good about building her pages, and I generally do not try to do paint or anything like that after I do not try to smudge it or dilute it or do anything like that. So I thought today I would give it a try, and I'm going to be using Liquitex acrylic ink for this. And I want to get some gold on this page. Not sure why I wanted gold, but I thought it would be nice. And this is just a little bottle of water, and I'm going to thin that out so that it makes more like a wash. And I'm going to brush it on, and then I'm going to wipe it. And what I'm using for my palette is a real cheap palette. It's what the top off of my flavored waters. Let's see what I've got. I've got a string in there. Let's get that out. And I thought it would be nice to have that gold kind of on this part here. She just puts layers on top of layers on top of layers, and it really comes out beautiful. On this part right here, the only thing that was on it was pencil, and you'll notice that pencil, the markings with the pencil do kind of get smudgy once you add water to it, or I had rubbed it too, so. Might have thinned it too much. Or maybe I need to be using acrylic. Just something, regular acrylic paints. I don't know. Let's try not diluting it and see what happens. I was wanting a little bit more of a pop from it. Trying to fill in. I notice she uses, I've got some dried baby wipes that I'm using, but when she is wiping down stuff, she's using those blue, like mechanic shop towels, which are lint-free. Alright, I like that. That's kind of aged that page out a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring some down here where we don't have a lot of paint on that. Now, I'm going to be taking some risk here. Stepping outside my comfort zone. That's one of the things that I wanted to try to do with this 100-day project. I wanted to include quotes, and I wanted to do things that I might not normally do. So that's what I'm going for here. And if I'm smart and I put a piece of paper down here, I may be able to capture what's coming off. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to use my mister and I'm going to spray it, get it wet so it dribbles. And let it go where it will. That's probably all I'm going to get out of that one. And I do not have my dryer set up, so we're going to just kind of dabble that a little bit so that that page will dry. And I can use what's on the cloth, my little piece of, I'm going to dab it on my quote I've got for today. And our quote for the day is going to be, "We rise by lifting others." And I went ahead and got that printed off. And I want to put that up here. So I'm going to just kind of lay it there. I'm going to get myself a little more gold out, and I'm going to go ahead and go around the edges of the things that I've decided I would like to use on this one. I love old doors, and I love old, like, bricks of buildings, and I found this one on Pinterest, and I thought, that's very interesting, and it makes me think of, wow, I just like old things. I especially like seeing, there's a couple of young women that are rehabbing houses, and one of them's actually doing a general store, which is really, really cool. Got a stamp here from Cuba, and I'm just going to go around the edge of that with a good thick amount. And I might be better served using acrylic paint, but this is what was on my desk, so this is what we're going to roll with. Hopefully it won't take too terribly long to dry. And I don't need it to be consistent all the way. I kind of want it to... This was a smooth edge stamp. It wasn't so much beveled edges or deckled edges like you would expect. 3-cent stamps. This is a postmark from Memphis on November the 23rd, 1957. I love getting old postmarks and stamps. Usually I can find stamps easily. There's lots of people on Facebook that do sell them, but you very seldom get the postmarks with them because they've been cut out a long time, or they buy it in bulk and they just collect the stamps off of them and toss the rest for the sake of consolidating. This already has gold on the edges, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm using this basically like I would if I was distressing with oxide, using distressed oxide. So this was from a greeting card, and that bird came off of a sticker. And I did use my beveled and deckled edge to tear this with. Now I want to paint this part. I actually want it to end up being gold, so let me flip this over. I want it to be all gold. Okay. And I've got this is kind of silly. This came with as like a garnishment for some food we ordered in at some point. And I've used it. I've used all the other parts of it, and so I thought, well, why not? I needed it. I was looking for greens and golds and trying to get my colors together. And I'm going to go ahead and do the back side of it too, because it's going to show up at the edge of the page. All right. Not quite dry, but getting there. The middle part is dry, so I can go ahead and proceed with putting down the door. And while I'm doing this part, I'll go ahead and say, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you'd think about doing that. I am committed to doing this 100 days. They may not be consecutive days, but I am doing well with it so far. I hope that I will be able to continue maintaining the pace that I have been. And I've enjoyed it so far. I have got my franking papers that I'm using, and those were inspired by Brooke Henry. She goes by BB, and I learned how to do those with one of her free classes, the BB Bash, which is an annual event. I learned how to make franking papers. She does have a YouTube video that goes through that process. Basically, you may be doing it already. What you do is you get different types of papers, and you can join them together to create your journal pages. This was a franking page. This is a franking page. And they're easy. They're very, very easy and fun. You can tape them together, glue them together, sew them together. There's lots of opportunities to use your scraps. And just to sit, I actually did quite a bit of them when I was just sitting and watching TV. I like to have something in my hands to do. I know it's silly. I probably should focus on what we're watching or the time that we're spending together. But I get antsy. So if I've got something in my hands to do, like handwork, like cutting something out, or hand stitching. Like today, we'll be watching a race, and I will go down there and sit and get antsy, and then I'll start jumping up and down, moving around, because my mind will start wandering. It's not that I don't like the race, it's just that that's the way my mind works, unfortunately. So, that being said, when I had my papers, I had taped them together or glued them with a glue stick, and then I came back with a needle and thread and used different stitches. Some of them I actually stitched on the sewing machine instead. But there's no right or wrong answer to this. You can do it any way you want to do it. There's nothing. There are no wrong answers. There's no wrong way to do it. You just take the different techniques that you want to use, and you just start whipping them out. And I've made, most of my pages were different sizes. I tried to piece them together to where it came out to a rectangular page, but that wasn't always the case. And that was okay, because when I make my journals, I want short pages and long pages. Or, You can also use these franken papers for making yourself some tags, journal cards, and things of that nature. And this is a fiddly little piece right here. This is out of the ones that my first experience with die cutting. And I found out that these little things are very fiddly. I can appreciate people that make and sell their die cuts because it's not as easy as it's not as easy as you would think. All right. Now, the only thing left to do is to put our number on here, and I forgot to do the gold on that, so let's see if I can get some gold on it. That happens to still be wet, so that's going to work out just fine. And this was a movie ticket that I found on Pinterest, and it had the number 12 on it, so I thought, okay, that will work. And my Pinterest account, if you want to look at what I've got in my journal printables, it is, you can find me under Minglet, and I put it as JJ Journal, JJ Printables, or something, JJ Prints, something like that is the file. And anything that I find that I think I might want to add at a later time, that's what how I make it useful. Okay, now let me get I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go around this a little bit. You can use, a lot of people will use their Stabilo pencil for this. And I do have a darker one, but I think I've got it downstairs where I was working downstairs. That's the problem with moving things from upstairs to downstairs. I try to just have like a little basket or a bag so that I bring it back when I come back upstairs, but you know, not being consistent is what causes you not to have your stuff where it's supposed to be, which is not always a good thing. Alright. Is that it? Is that where I want to leave it? I think that'll do. Alright, so there we have page 12. I do thank you for stopping in to visit with me today. This is page 12 out of 100 days, and I will have the link in the description below. If you're not subscribed, if you'll hit that subscribe button, you'll get notification when that pops up each day. Until next time, be well, my friends. Bye-bye.